welcome to the Transfer Exchange Show. England are in the Euro final. Euro 2024 final. Forget 3 lines on the shirt. It's 23 lines. And one main man at the front of that in Gareth Southgate. Forget pride. Pride is what we have for getting to the final. For everything they've done along the way. Yes, we complain. Yes, we complain. And sometimes rightly so. We showed support. We showed support until the end. Ollie Watkins, you're a hero. Ivan Toney, hero. Saka, Pickford, all of you, heroes. Now go one more step, one more win, and we lift that trophy. And we all get a bank holiday, hopefully. Keir Starmer, it's on you. Precious. I know they've been putting it on you after about 2 or 3 days. So what's going on? Things ain't changed. Told ya. But this is the one thing you could do to get people on your side. England win on Sunday. Get us a bank holiday. Get us that day off. What a day that will be. I think I need it because I think I'll probably still be out. Not even joking.
I was going to say,
standing with me. We're going to try and do a couple of lives before we've had a few too many tinnies. But yeah, it's going to be hopefully a very, very good day and evening. I'm joined by Garth and Steve. K, how you doing, Steve? How you doing, Garth?
Yeah, good, mate. Very, very, very well, mate. Very well.
All right, good. So we're going to start with the game the other day. We have to say the performance was so much better. In fact, it was actually a good performance. Phil Foden turned up and was definitely more like the Phil Foden we see at Manchester City. Harry Kane, I know people will point out Harry Kane's shortcomings in this tournament, but he was in the box a lot more, which gave us more of a vocal point in that game. All around, it was definitely more positive going forward. And then we got done by the Xavi Simons goal, but it seems like that's the England blueprint. Go behind, backs against the wall, come out fighting. Hopefully we don't do that against Spain, but you've got to be happy with the result and the performance going into the final, Garth.
Yeah, more than happy with that, to be quite honest with you. Decent team performance. You know, there were still some, rustiness is the wrong word, some dire elements where you're a bit bored here and there, but it was just much better. You look at the stats: pass accuracy 92%, 5 shots on target, considering we had like 1 in the last game, 9 shots overall, over nearly 600 passes. So it was just a better performance, like I say. Overall, it's been really bad this tournament, but much better. I think the key things you've already mentioned, Harry Kane being further forward for me, really allowed our midfield to push up. It allowed the likes of Foden to occupy that 10 role that he likes, instead of being crowded out by both Bellingham and Kane being there. Mm-hmm. So, and then Ollie Watkins, what dreams are made of. Like, there ain't a footballing man alive or woman alive who hasn't thought about doing that, you know what I mean, for the team. Come on, 10 minutes to go, bag the winning goal and send you to the final. Like, it's absolutely fantastic. But yeah, all in all, a better performance. I do think we're going to have to take it up a gear to beat this Spain side, but they're not the best Spain side you've ever seen either. So, fingers crossed.
Yeah, I agree. Steve must have been happy with the result and the performance on Sunday, going into the final, being a lot more positive, because obviously we've seen games we've scraped through against Slovakia. We've made it tough against teams in the group stage, but to have the best performance in the tournament, the game before the final, you can't really ask much more.
No, you can't, mate. You can't ask much more from the players. They gave us a good performance. You can't ask much more from, especially the manager, because we've all sort of called him out through the tournament, and rightly so. But against Holland, when he needed to get it right, he got it right, and nobody probably can say anything against him. But yeah, like Garth said, look, it wasn't great all the way through it, but Holland are a decent side, and I think it was the reason why they was never going to sit back. They come out of us, they when a team comes at you, You know, they gave us more space. This is what happens when you have teams who, you know, who want to attack you and don't want to sit back like teams have done again. Like for instance, like you know, the teams in the group stage. So yeah, you know, our players were able to express themselves that little bit more, and in the end, I think you know we probably just deserved the win. You know, I was a little bit disappointed in the second half. It seemed that we was going back to that England thing again, where you know we all of a sudden got a goal, and then all of a sudden we came out for the second half and we sat back again, which was like as soon as we scored. And why we did that, I don't know. I thought we should have took the game to them then, and it took for you know a substitution with 10 minutes to go for us to go on and win the game. But yeah, look. You know, we'll get into sort of players and formations for the next game and stuff like that. But yeah, you can't knock it, and especially Gareth Southgate, you can't knock him. You can't knock him. You know, well done to him.
Yeah, no, definitely. This tournament, there's been a lot of stories been made. The Saka redemption, you can call it. Ollie Watkins, from a player who was played in non-league football, so now he's in the England squad and scoring in the last minute to get him into the final. Ivan Toney, who did probably come back from his ban, maybe didn't even think he's going to get into the tournament. It's a sort of maverick cult hero with the way he took his penalty. There's a lot of people writing their own destiny here. Do you think that someone could do that for the final, Garth, and make a big moment for themselves?
Yeah, definitely. There's a couple of players that still need to. I mean, anyone can do it. There's a couple of players that still need to do a little something with this tournament. Foden, although he was much better in this game, definitely he's got a goal in him coming at some point. I think Kobe Mainoo, one of the highlights of the England team of this whole tournament, maybe does what he did against was it Liverpool where he scored the last minute winner? Yeah, Liverpool. Score. You've got. I mean, Harry Kane needs a performance as well. It's weird that he's actually joined top scorer in the tournament.
I was going to say could be top goal scorer for the tournament, and we're talking
so,
about swapping him out.
If he scores tomorrow, on Sunday, then he's got golden boot, even though he's had a bad. So there's a number of players that could definitely do with anyone. To be fair, in it, Declan Rice has had a couple of long range efforts. One at the post, one at the bar, isn't it? I think, or just got cleared off the line. Yeah. So there's a number of players there that can definitely make a name for himself. I think bottom line is that we need a nice, solid team performance. And as much as I hate to say it, the pragmatic football of Southgate is going to be the best option come Sunday against this very fluently attacking Spain side. You know what I mean? The defence isn't the strongest you've ever seen. We can hit them, and we can hit them hard. But we've got to be watching those wings because Nico Williams and Jamal are dangerous. So yeah, his style of football, as much as I hate it, yeah, it's taking us to the final and possibly can get us a win here. But yeah, definitely someone can have a magic moment there. I'd put money on Foden doing something after that performance. It weren't still great, but he had a couple of shots, and I could see
encouraging.
him. Encouraging is the right word for it, man. Yeah. So if I was going to who's going to do it, yeah, Rice or Foden for me, funnily enough, because I think Rice has got his shooting boots on as well.
Yeah, he's had a couple of close shots, Rice, and we called him the water boy the other day, and I think it could be one of them ones where the water boy turns into a hero. I mean, if anyone's going to be singing his praises, it's going to be Steve. Steve, who do you think could be the hero of the moment on Saturday? Or come Sunday, sorry.
Well, we got a number of players who can produce that little bit of magic. You know, obviously, Saka's someone who can do that. He sort of like seems to be coming into a bit of form now. Well, he didn't play as well as he did against Switzerland, but again, he was decent. Foden, you know, he's slowly getting, you know, into his game, getting better and better. You know, just like a golfer, you know, you sort of as you play tournaments, you get better and better, and then you get to a point where you bring out that bit of magic and show people what you're all about. It seems that Foden's similar to that, you know, sort of like trajectory at the minute. Yeah, look, I mean, I do worry about Harry Kane. It's not like I'm not sort of sitting here on, you know, at the moment thinking, well, yeah, this is Harry Kane's final. You know, Harry Kane's going to call out a bit of magic. He's not the one I'm looking at to go and win this game at the moment. He could pop up, he could do it, but I'm not seeing any really sort of evidence that he is going to do that. It's coming from Bellingham's and Saka's Fodens and players like that who are going to produce something. Not Harry Kane for me at the moment. I just don't think he's showing anything at all. He's liable to pop up and get a goal, but yeah, is he going to be the one to sort of win us? He probably will now. He'll probably go on and score the goal to win us the final. But yeah, it's going to be good. I'm excited, really, really excited. I don't think we can play this pragmatic football that we've played against through the tournament that's got us to where we are now against Spain. I think if we do, I think they kill us. We've played that way against Slovakia. We played that way against Denmark. We played that way against who's the other team? Suburbia. And we nearly lost the game, and we were poor and we were rubbish. The best we've looked at the moment was that first half against Holland, when we went out there and we win at them. I think we need to do that against Spain.
It was still the pragmatic system and the pragmatic football. Man. That's what you've got.
We can't sit back. I just don't think we can sit back. We can't.
That's not what I mean by pragmatic football, man. That's not that. No, you can't do that. Man. What I mean is exactly that. You got to play that formation.
Yeah, exactly.
With that system, it's the same football, man. It's just the players unleashed themselves a little bit.
Yeah,
more.
I wasn't bringing up that point.
Yeah.
Because of something you said. It was just
no.
It was it's my the way I see. The way we played against Holland was the way we got to play. If we played the way we did in the group games, I think they would absolutely destroy us. Against Holland, we seem to be, our players will seem to express themselves more. They seem to go forward more. And we see the best of certain players. We see the best of England. That's the best we've been all tournament. So, yeah, I'm just saying, don't go back to that where we're trying to sit back and want to hit them on the break when we get the chance, because I think Spain would kill us if we did that.
Yeah, I think
they've got a lot of matches.
Yeah, I think England played the pragmatic style in the group stages, but they were also poor on top of that. I think they've kept the similar style. They've kept the formation. They've changed the formation. The thing I worry is a bit of mixture between what Garth said and what Steve said. Is the sitting back. The sitting back is what worries about, because we played well in the last game, and I even made a joke in the pub and I said, we've got the equaliser, now we're going to sit in and it's back against the wall. It's exactly what
it really was that, wasn't it?
And it wasn't until some changes were made towards the end that we saw the difference again. It'd be interesting to see how we do play. I hope we continue of how we played in the last game, because as you've seen, we've gone on. You've seen if the players do let the handbrake off a little bit, it opens up the game. They can play well. They can handle themselves against these teams. I mean, I know it's Holland, and I know Holland have not been great, but Holland technically are a great team. They might not have some of the best players around, but technically they are a very, very good team. And this is the kind of style you're going to be facing against Spain. The only difference is it'll be a lot quicker, a lot more fluid, a lot less mistakes, and a lot more clinical. So, it's going to be a tough game. But I've just got a feeling it's going to be a mixture of both. It's going to be a bit of like we did against Holland, sitting backs against the wall when we don't want it to, and then we come up with a winner, and then we hold out again. And then probably a couple of line clearances. Pickford's got to make a save, and it's like a movie. I would love that. I'll take that all day long. We win it. I was
just about to say you got the script there, Keys.
I have got the script.
You got the script.
I have got the script, and I hope it comes to fruition as well. Garth, Steve was getting onto the subject just on that last question, and it's the title of the show today. Harry Kane. We said it earlier. This man is getting a lot of criticism, and rightly so. I thought he was a lot better in the last games. Was a much more of a vocal point, which it gave Phil Foden a lot more structure. I felt it gave Saka again somewhere he could put the ball into. It puts pressure on the defense. It has with Harry Kane there. It naturally has the other players in their right positions to receive the ball as well. And it was a lot more fluid. And I think it was because of Harry Kane's positioning in that game. I'm not saying he was the saviour. I'm saying him listening to management and fans, and staying in the box like a striker should a lot more, made a big difference. But it was this man here who was saved the day. Ollie Watkins came off the bench. Lovely touch, lovely turn. He said he spoke to Cole Palmer and while he was sitting on the bench. We all do it. We all do it, Garth. Sitting on the bench on a Sunday. Said to your mate, I'm coming on. I'm coming on. Garth, come on.
The bench? I never saw you there. I never saw you there, bruv. What are you talking about, mate?
Just play along. Just play along. Sitting on the bench, you talk to your mate, say, oh, well, come on. You're going to set me up. Goal. Well, they did it. Cole Palmer, Watkins turned around to Palmer and said, when we come on, you're going to set me up. Cole Palmer done exactly that. Touch, turn, finish. Absolute scenes. England in the final. Who do you go for, Garth? Who starts the game? Is it Harry Kane, the leader, or is it Ollie Watkins, the hero?
It has to be Harry Kane, man. You're talking about a geezer that scored 44 goals this season for Bayern Munich. He's top of the goal scoring charts in the European Championship. That are like literally, even if he doesn't score another goal, he's winning a joint golden boot. Is there a Spaniard in there? I don't think so. Might be, but anyway.
Andy Armour's got 2.
So he's on 3. So,
I think.
So unless one of them two scores a brace in the final, you just can't leave him out. I'm sorry. I know that everyone's arguments like Watkins is energetic. It looks better when he's playing, but like this is what people were saying about Saka with Cole Palmer, and a lot of people were like, "No, Saka's just better. Harry Kane is just better. There's no two ways around it. He's just a better player than Ollie Watkins. Watkins needs to do." Sorry, go on.
No, go on. Just finish. I'll ask. I've got a question.
Ollie Watkins has got to do exactly what he did in this game. If we need a goal with 10 minutes to go, then Southgate's got to have the minerals to take Kane off then and throw Ollie Watkins on.
You was one earlier in the tournament, which was very much for Harry Kane being dropped. I think we had a couple of pods. You said drop him, and I was well against it, and you was like, no, drop him. What's changed your stance on this one now?
I just think in a game like when you're in the group stages, I think it's much easier and even in the stage, it's much easier to throw out. Oh, just drop the man. You know what I mean? Just like he ain't doing enough for me. We're in the final. He's the captain of this team. He is one of the best strikers in the world. Mm-hmm. It's undeniable. You can't. Mbappe hasn't played well this tournament. Would you drop Mbappe for the final? Of course you wouldn't. And I say this to you boys, like Saka hasn't played well this tournament. You're going to drop him? No, you're not. Like Foden hasn't played well this tournament. You're going to drop him? Not really. Like because these are your match-winning players. So, it just comes down to now that it's too risky to have someone like Harry Kane on the bench when he's got the goal record that he's got, when he's the presence that he is. I mean, what does it say? Like, if you drop Harry Kane for this game, then that means his England career's over. It has to because you don't trust him anymore, and so he's not your England career is too far. He's not your main man anymore. So, and then you've got to start talking about changing cap. Listen, for the final, even though he hasn't played well, 100% he's got to start this game for me. That's what it comes down to. It's too risky not to. It's too risky.
Steve, I say Ollie Watkins or Harry Kane, but there's also Ivan Toney in there who's played his part in getting to the final as well. Who do you start on Sunday?
Oh. Do you know what? I think Toney. I wouldn't start Toney against Spain, but do you know what? I've heard everything Garth said. Do you know what? I don't know.
Did you think? Did you feel like you had it? Like, no. Do you know what? I'm playing this person.
I hear everything that Garth's saying.
Yeah.
The captain thing. The goals he scored in the past thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you can't drop him. He's a captain. It's Harry Kane. I hear all that.
Go on.
But then I just look at the shape of the team, and then I look at better we've looked when he's not on the pitch. And then that throws my mind back, and I say, "No, put Watkins on. This is the final. This is a one-off." Do you know what I mean? We need to have some kind of attacking threat through the game. We need to get behind Spain. Spain play quite a high line, so with Watkins on the shoulder, running in behind, everything like makes sense if you think of it like that. If you're a manager, you're thinking pace, hang on the shoulders, put it through. Palmer, Saka in through to Watkins. He's going to be your biggest danger. He's going to be the threat. Kane can't do that. Kane can't hang on the shoulders. Kane's not got the pace. Right, he hasn't got it. He needs to be in the 6-yard box. If he's not in the 6-yard box, then or making runs or making space, then he's not this tournament anyway. He ain't doing much else. So there's your two sort of scenarios. You know, what do you do? You know, we've seen Mbappe through this tournament. He stunk. They're out. Ronaldo's playing. They've played him. He stunk. They're out. With it, and I bet you any money people have had the same comment. Oh, you can't drop Mbappe. Oh, we've got to play him. Well, you're out now, right? So yeah, maybe if you played Badly Bacola on that left wing, who every time he's come on has absolutely ripped teams to pieces, maybe France will be in the final and not Spain. Maybe if you was playing Jota up front, maybe Portugal would have got through. These are the things that keep going in my head. And this is the same thing with the Harry Kane thing. Yes, we know he's the captain. Yes, we know who he is. We know his goal scorers. But when you look at the setup of the team and what the players around him and what happens, what they've come on and done, it always leaves me back. So, yeah, I get the captain thing. I get these, but I don't know. If Southgate's picked Kane, then it'd be like, well, there's no surprise. But I would be worried. I'd be seriously worried. And he can't start leaving. If he does play him, then, you know, sod all this, leave it to 10 minutes. He's got to get him off after, like, you know, 55 minutes, 60 minutes. Then get him off. Don't wait until 80 minutes, then substitute him. Get him off and then get Watkins on, if that's the case, if you're going to play him. You know, don't mess about. You know, bring on, he brought Watkins on. It was perfect, 80 minutes. But, you know, great decision. But... do you know what I mean? It was another magical moment from one of our players that probably saved Southgate's arse.
Yeah, again. Yeah, no, it did. It did.
So it's awkward, mate. I'm split. Do you know what I mean? I can't.
Here's another question. Do you think that if Southgate drops Kane for this game, in the final, do you think that has an impact on the team when they hear that news?
It could do, yeah. Yeah, it may do. With some players, probably the older players. With the younger players, it probably won't. You probably, if you're talking about like your Fodens, your Bellinghams, your Sakas, you know, these your Mainus even, you know, probably your players who are around the sort of that type of age who let's get it right. I mean, I know Watkins is 29, he ain't a young man, but he sort of plays that fast pace, get behind the back, you know, playing the balls through. And, you know, I think Foden would be a better, you know, if Foden's getting the ball and he looks up and he sees Watkins running in, he will run behind and Foden and Saka can play their balls through. Mainu can even come through from the 8 because he can play a ball through. You know, I think it's to be split. I think that maybe the younger players will prefer to play with Watkins, but the old stagers would probably think they'd take Kane. It's a massive question. It's a massive question, and yeah, it's hard. It's hard. If Watkins come out, if Watkins gets picked, I'll be excited. I'll be like, oh, here we go.
Goff, do you think it will impact the team anyway if Harry Kane doesn't start?
Yeah, 100%. In my opinion, for me, it's not even a question. Like he has to start. They're just. You're talking about England's all-time goal scorer, leading goal scorer in international competitions for England, Golden Boot winner in 2 of those competitions. As I said, scored 44 goals in 46 games last season. Yeah, he's had a bad tournament, but who hasn't in this team? And he's still bagged 3 goals. There isn't a single player in this team apart from
play as well.
Yeah, apart from Kobe Mainoo and the 2 centre-backs, there isn't a player in this team that has justified themselves as being as good as they actually are. No one has. Like no one has justified how good they are in this team. So you take the captain out on the final. I mean, what sort of message you send? That's what I'm saying. Like that's the end of you. It's the end of you as captain of this team. It's the end of you as a elite striker. I'm sorry, I don't see how it's even like For me, I honestly don't even see how it would ever happen. It's not going to happen unless there's an injury. You just can't. And I'm not even the biggest Harry Kane fan. For the longest time, I refused to accept that he was world class. Like, for the longest time, I just was like world class finisher. But this, I know what you're saying, Steve. I mean, but like, I'm going to go back to this. It's very funny how it's like you were completely against that logic with Saka and Palmer. And now that it isn't Saka, it's like, no, yeah, drop Kane, drop him, get something more exciting in. He does more. Harry Kane's one of the best strikers in the world. Without a shadow of a doubt, one of the best strikers in the world. You can't drop him. There's just no way you can drop him.
I think
it will affect the team.
Saka, I mean, comparing Saka's World Cup to Kane this World Cup, I can't. Yeah, I don't see the comparison.
Of course you can. Kane scored 3 goals. He's our top scorer in the competition. He scored the winner to get us through in the last round of 16, didn't he? Was it the 16 or the quarterfinal? 16 with the header in extra time. He scored the equaliser against Denmark, was it? Or was it the first goal? And he scored the equaliser in the last game. I mean, we'll get
they play in totally different positions. I don't get it. I don't understand that. I can understand if you want to bring up the Cole Palmer thing and say, should he start? I don't get a Kane Saka comparison.
I'm not comparing the situations. You're talking about Ollie Watkins playing because it excites you. You think he can do more because Kane hasn't done much in this tournament.
Yeah.
But when we were discussing exactly the same thing with Saka before the Switzerland game, when he hadn't done anything all tournament, you go, no, you can't drop Saka. You can't drop him. And it's the exact same reason I've got for you can't drop Kane.
Yeah, but I haven't. But again, I haven't. You're saying that I've said, drop Kane. I've plainly said that I can't. I'm split. I said it. I'm split. I just really don't know it because, on one part, I
suggests that you don't trust Kane. That in itself, like even if it's a question in your mind, whether you play Kane or not,
it's just football knowledge. It's just football. The way Kane plays on a football pitch, what he does, the way Spain play, that they play a high line, the way that Watkins has looked when he's come on, the goal he scored. It's just I'm adding just tactical things. There's nothing against Harry Kane. It's not that I don't know what he can do, and I don't think he's world class. I said he was world class before long anybody thought he was world class. So it's not a dig against Harry Kane. It's just a genuine logical footballing decision on not anything against Harry Kane, but whether or not we play Watkins or would he be a better fit for this game than Harry Kane? It's not no dig or no slight on him or anything.
You may not be saying drop Harry Kane, but everything you're saying is very much inferring that you would play Watkins over Harry Kane in this game. Well, you're sitting on the fence here, Steve, by saying you don't want to say drop Kane, but everything you're saying is he hasn't got the skill set to play this formation against Sane.
I've admitted
Watkins will do a better job.
I've admitted to sitting on the fence. I've admitted to sitting on the fence. So how can you say I'm sitting on the
everything
fence?
You're saying, no, that's what I'm saying. You're trying to sit on the fence, but everything you're saying is inferring that you want Watkins in this team over Kane.
Well, that's the conversation, isn't it? That's the debate. Should Watkins start? So we're obviously going to debate on why Watkins could play. I don't get that at all.
No, I'm just, it's not a slight or a dig, Steve. I'm just saying.
No, I'm just obviously answering.
You're not getting it. Yeah, I don't say you're not getting it. You're saying everything you're saying is drop Kane.
I don't know. I really don't know. I've already explained myself why.
But that's what I'm saying. If it's even a question in your mind, that is because you don't think Kane should start.
Yeah,
because otherwise,
or is it because you want
you're telling me that there's not a massive percentage of this country thinking what I'm thinking right now, whether Kane should start or not? Is that such an
there was a massive percentage of the country that thought that what Gareth Southgate was doing was wrong, and now we're in a final.
Yeah, well, they've got that's.
Kane's led that line to the final. For me, it shouldn't even be a question in your mind. It should be that Kane starts.
Well, I was asked a question. It would be a very quick debate if I just went, Kane. You know what I mean? Give us a chance. We got to like compare the two, haven't we? I mean, that's what we're doing here, isn't it?
Well, personally,
I really don't get it at all. That makes sense.
Personally, I pick Kane. I think it does send a message to the team. I think they will be looking at Kane. I think when you look at this team, there is a sort of hierarchy. And look, you don't want it to be. You want it to be. Oh, everyone gets to go, and everyone has a chance. That's not how it works. You're going to start swapping Jordan Pickford out halfway through a tournament. You're not. You stick with your man unless it's gone absolutely backwards, which it hasn't, because as you said, he scored 3 goals, 2 of which are in open play. If there's a one-on-one with a goalkeeper in 89th minute, I want that to be Kane. Yes, Ollie Watkins scored a lovely goal, but if I'm getting a choice, one-on-one in front of the goal, I want Harry Kane in front of that goal, and that's from anyone in the team. It's
a no-win situation, isn't it, kids? Look, it's a no-win situation, because if he plays Kane and he plays to a similar way that he's played this tournament and Spain go through, then everybody's going to say you should have played Watkins. Because why didn't you play Watkins? Why didn't you play Watkins?
Yeah, I think there will be a selection. There will be a certain people that will immediately jump over and say, "Why didn't you pick Watkins? I would have picked Watkins." However, I don't think you can blame Gareth Southgate for picking one of the best strikers in the world at the moment. The same reason why Didier Deschamps picked him. The same reason why Martinez picked Ronaldo. Because when you actually do look at the other options, they're not as good. You actually do look at the other options, they ain't there. They ain't there in those tournament situations. They've not been there. These people have all been there in these tournament situations, and they've proved they can do it again. Now, Ronaldo, slight anomaly. He's passed it at this level.
He shouldn't have played. There was no way he should have been playing up front for Portugal.
I don't understand why they didn't even play. What's his name? Didn't even play
Ramos or Jota. Must have been
Jota. The one with PSG.
Goncalo Ramos, I like.
Goncalo Ramos. Goncalo Ramos. They didn't even play
Ronaldo just stunk the place out. That was embarrassing. That game.
Ronaldo's bigger than the team, innit? Ronaldo's bigger than the team, innit? That's what it literally comes down. But it comes down to that. And I know even with Ronaldo though, he's in Saudi Arabia, but he's still banging goals left, right, and centre. Like, it's a brave man to take Ronaldo and drop him, because then look at the division that he sowed in at Man United when Erik ten Hag dropped him. Imagine the division in that Portugal squad that gets sown in if you drop Ronaldo. Listen, he ain't played bad. He's played bad this tournament, but I mean, I reckon he'll still be at the World Cup. I said this to someone. I reckon he'll be at the next World Cup.
He said it's his last Euros. He didn't say it's his last football tournament, and he made sure he said last Euros on purpose.
There you go, then.
If they do, I mean, I've already said it. Look, I mean, if they play Kane, it's not like I'm going to be a shock horror. Do you know what I mean? I totally get it. But let's not leave it. Don't leave it to the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
If he's having another dodgy game, like he's had quite a few this tournament. I mean, look, he has scored a couple of goals. But he ain't played well when he scored those couple of goals. He was better against Holland, right? But the other games, he ain't been good at all. He's been really poor.
Well, you've seen Southgate do a like-for-like swap, bring on whether it's Tony or it was Kane. Whether it's Kane and Watkins, he takes off Kane and brings one for Watkins. Do you see a room where Watkins and Kane can play together, Steve?
If you're 1-0 down and with 5 minutes to go, then maybe so. No, not really. Not really. I'm trying to think. I think you'd have to put. I mean, if Watkins would go way up front, so he'd have to play off the back of the defenders, and then Kane would have to drop deep into the number 10. And the last place we want Kane is in the number 10 area, because we've got enough players occupying that position as it is at the minute, because by that time, you'd need Foden on the pitch, you need Bellingham on the pitch. Foden was much better when he started coming. It seemed like Foden and Bellingham were sort of understand, how to play. We said in the very first episode when we were saying that, they need to learn to play the number 10 role together, but not getting in each other's way. They did that against Holland. I think if you're having Kane and Watkins on the pitch, he loves to drop deep, Kane, and he's just going to get in the way. So I don't think you can play them both. I mean, it may get desperate stakes during the game where we need to, maybe even 2 or maybe even 3 strikers on the pitch at one point, and then you just go for it. And but not for me. Not for me. It's just I think that high line though for Spain. I think it would be exciting. It's just exciting thought of. I've seen Watkins like hang on the last shoulder for fillers and his pace, and he's gone, and that excites me. But yeah, I mean, I can't see him. I mean, I'd be shocked if Watkins is starting. Put it that way, I'd be absolutely dumbfounded, you know. But yeah,
it'll be a brave call. It'll be a big man call from Gareth Southgate. A big man call if he does it.
I'm not sure whether we need.
I'm saying it won't work, Steve. I'm just saying that's a big man call. That is in the final.
Yeah, it'd be a big shout. Funny
enough, Steve, I actually disagree. I thought I wanted the 2 up top. I agree with you entirely. If you're chasing a goal, definitely get 2 up top. I thought maybe you'd bring on 2 against the Netherlands instead of taking off Foden. But I think there is a way you do it. You don't play Maino. You play Bellingham and Rice. You play Bellingham as the 8, Rice as the 6. You drop, as you're exactly what you're saying, Steve. You drop Kane a little bit. You play Watkins on the last man with the 2 wingers. I actually like that a lot. I know a lot of people are really high on Maino at the moment, but I'm a 2 up top man. And, you know, that was bread and butter for me back in the day. So it won't happen. Of course, it won't happen.
No.
I like that. I like that idea personally, because then Kane is allowed to drop into his natural position of this deep lying striker. So, but yeah, of course, never going to. You can't make these massive tactical changes before, like, from the start in a final, unless you're forced to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing 2 up top. I really wouldn't in this England team going forward after this competition, because there is no 2 ways about it. Kane is losing his edge a little bit in pace. He was never the fastest player.
I agree.
Yeah, he was never the fastest player anyway. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that going forward, because otherwise, like you've already said, like Watkins is coming on 30. I mean, Tony's 27? He must be around there, mustn't he?
Yeah, around there.
These players, they're never going to get in, because Kane's got at least 3 more years of being our main man, I would have thought, up top.
Yeah. Where's the next lot coming from? Centre forwards for England.
I think, funny enough, I think the move to Germany is with Kane has probably hampered his game slightly as well. Maybe slowed him down a little bit. It's a different kind of game out there. I mean, if in the short space of time he's been out there, they've managed to change his speech and sort that out. I mean, he's had 29 years of a lisp and a speech impediment. He goes to Germany for 1 year, and they're like, nope, sort that out straight away. And he comes back. He's got like an American twang to his voice now, and he's like, and he's got like a bit of a
bit of swagger about him.
A Southeast London twang to it. It's like, yeah, I know what you're doing there, Harry. I know what you're doing there. relaxing yourself. Another player who has got to do the debate before we move on to speak about Spain is Luke Shaw. Came into the game. I thought he brought a lot of balance within about 30 seconds. He crossed the ball. I don't think I've been so excited to see a cross. And he managed to play the whole second half as well. So, Garth, do you start Luke Shaw in the next game?
Yeah, like I said last time, I think if you're going to start him, you've got to be looking at that 60-minute mark. I still don't think he's going to be match fit for a 90, especially with Yamal and Williams, whichever. So, like, if they swap around and stuff, like Olmo going out to the wing. I don't know. Maybe he is. Listen, maybe it's a new Luke. Maybe it's a new Luke Shaw. But every time I've seen him come back from an injury like this, it takes him a long time to get 90-minute match fit. But there's nothing you said that was incorrect there, man. He brought much needed balance that side. So much better than having Trippier out there. Like so much better than having Trippier out there.
Better.
Yeah, and I think that if Gareth Southgate had gone out at any point in this, not taking a fit left back would have been my number one offence for him. Would have been what you'd like. And there are options. Like I said, Tyrek Mitchell, for me, deserved to go to this World Cup when you haven't got any other left back out there. And you're taking Joe Gomez as a backup left back, who's a centre back, really, who can play left back. So, yeah, start him. I think we've got to have our best squad out there on Sunday, personally. And then once he's blowing, then replace him for. I mean, I might even put Trent out there, move Walker over or something, like just keep Trippier away from this team for me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no.
even bring Eze on. He didn't do a bad job when he
exactly. Yeah, no, good actually. Yeah, good shout.
Yeah, please don't bring on Trippier. It's the last thing you need. I think you need a bit of.
But do you see Gareth Southgate's changing it? I don't. I've got a feeling it'll be the same team that started against the Netherlands.
All right. Before I quickly ask Steve the same question, do you start Luke Shaw in the next game?
Speakers.
Yeah, Steve. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. He was very good when he played. against Holland. As I say, breath of fresh air. You know, brought some kind of balance to that left-hand side. Come off. You know, it was you know, especially that second half was a game that was sort of like a bit like a basketball match. You know, Holland tested us in that game. You know, they was passing the ball around us. You know, Shaw was having to chase back, and you know, he came through it. So for me, it's just a no-brainer. That's all I say, a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer for us that he starts. You know, whether Southgate will or not. But Garth's, I think, hit the nail on the head. I think he's hit the nail on the head. I mean, you know, when you've got Nico Williams and Jamal, you know, swapping over on the left and then on the right, which is what they actually do.
Trippier's going to have an absolute nightmare, isn't he?
I mean, Shaw's, you know, you'd even like with Shaw, you'd be going, oh, Shaw's going to have a tough game today against one of them. You know, so against Trippier, it's like, you know, double that and double that again.
Yeah, double ACL for Trippier if he's playing against Jamal and Nico Williams.
It is. Yeah. Definite start. Whether he will or not, mate, I don't know. I think he likes Trippier, and will he change it now? You know, he's gone with Trippier all through the tournament. You know, gets to the last game, drop him. As you said, it's sort of not similar to Harry Kane, but it's like, but again, it's the same sort of thing. You know, do you change it? You know, it's sometimes think, you got, you know, some of us anyway are saying, you know, put Watkins on. It's the final. Play an eye line. He's got pace. You know, Saka can get the ball into the box. You know, it's more likely with Watkins' face you get in there. You can have the same sort of like similar type of argument in the left back area with Trippier. But is he going to do it? Is it going to happen? Probably not.
Probably not. I just think you got Kieran Trippier ain't got a left peg on him. Like if Kieran Trippier had half decent, like even a half decent left peg, then we might be having a different conversation. But it's too easy to, like, I find this too often with fullbacks that are playing on their wrong side. They're too easy to defend against if you can't use your left foot, because you can just show them down one side. You know they're not going anywhere else, and you can defend against it too easy.
And especially if we haven't got a classic winger on that wing who crosses it with their left foot. Yeah. We've got Phil Foden who's looking to cut inside, open up, drift in, and shoot with his left foot. So much so that he wants to get onto the right, curve back round, and wrap in. Desperate. He's so desperate to have that shot. Like, and the team doesn't suit his play. It's not suited for his style of play. He's having to adapt it to get into positions that he needs to, which is why he's not getting as many shots off. Yeah. He's not as comfortable. He's not as fluid. But we haven't got a left-hand side with Kieran Trippier there. It's non-existent. Like, it's very easy for them. We're playing lopsided.
Yeah, depending on how the game's going, though, Kiers. I mean, and it is depending on the way the game's going. I mean, rather than Kieran Trippier, I mean, you know, I'm thinking about it. I hate myself saying it. But I'd rather, if you put Saka there, you know, and Shaw was knackered and he had to come off or something, or he pulled up, rather Saka there. And I hate to say that. Do you know what I mean? But I'd rather, you know, he probably would do a better job. You know,
100% would.
You know, than what Trippier would, because he's got
that scar to your face. I can see that smirk coming up.
Someone has been saying it since the start of the tournament.
As soon as he said, "I hate to say it," I was like, "Don't say it." And he said, "I hate."
You knew what I was going to say.
"Don't say it, Steve." And you said it, and Garth went from this to this.
No, but again, it's not like it's ideal. It ain't ideal, and it's like you're taking away, you know, a match winner, you know, from your side. But Trippier is so stunk the place out so much.
Yeah. Even Walker looked better in the last, and I mean that's a push. Like, let's not get it twisted. He weren't great. He still dropped a couple of poor passes. Still,
what's happened to his passing, man?
I don't know. I'm sure if he said he can't go, he's not allowed on any boys' holidays anymore. He said, "No, I'm going to play football with the England football team." She said, "I'm not having it. I'm not having it. You're staying at home." And he sent his cousin in. Like, this ain't even Carl Walker.
Carl Walker. It's the Carl Walker.
Yeah, it's Carl with a C.
We had the Marcus Rashford last season.
Yeah.
That's his cousin, the Carl Walker.
That ain't happening. That ain't right. Because this guy can't even pass. He's quick, but he can't pass. And this Carl Walker played for AFC Telford or something like that. Not not Man
To
City.
be fair, his defensive work in the last game was much better, I thought, Walker. His passing was still showing, but his defensive work was much better. But yeah,
I mean, if
from-
you've got to go back to basics, that's what is. Although it's one of the things with Cole Walker. Cole Walker is a rapid defender, but one of his main strengths is his defending as well.
yeah,
He's
quality.
not great going forward. He's just very quick. As you can see, with the way that he does go forward, and he's a bit too fast sometimes, that he gets in people's way. Like, so I'm sure for Man City, he overlaps a lot more, gets that ball in the box, but it's not his forte. It's defensive work, his pace. That's what troubles defenders. So yeah, no. But back to the big question. Who's the main threat for Spain, or is that a silly question? Yamal, Williams, Ruiz.
For me, it's Olmo.
Dani Olmo.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're talking about a goal-scoring wonder goal, then yeah, Yamal, obviously. If you actually put in the strings of that team, then Dani Olmo is probably their most dangerous player, I think. Like, all in all, look, Yamal, listen, I'm sure you said it, I think you said it before, Kev. You don't want to know what I was up to at 16, but it certainly was not scoring bangers for the national team in a major competition. Like, it certainly was not.
I was scoring bangers over Anthony Marshes at 16.
I might be on Anthony Marshes, mate.
Wondering where that was going there, Steve.
No, listen, for me, yeah, he's really, really impressed this tournament, Dani Olmo, and that 50 mil release clause is looking very tasty. Someone has.
They've got players everywhere, Garth. But to be honest with you, they've got players.
Yeah, 100%.
We spoke about Dani Olmo in the last tournament, so it's quite surprising that he's still at Leipzig. I know after that tournament, there's a lot of talk about Dani Olmo, but
I think he will be this year.
He's a player. He came on for Pedri in a game, immediately made a difference. He came as a sub in a game, immediately made a difference, had a couple of shots on goal, and he's been a danger. He's a threat, gets a shot on target every game, and I don't see him doing any different in this game. He is definitely a danger.
They're a team on form, aren't they, mate?
They're a team on form. They've been on fire the whole tournament. Morata's one of those players who you could probably say he's had a bit of a Harry Kane, not Harry Kane because he's been okay, but he's had a bit of a on and off tournament where he's a danger. You can't switch off from Morata because he's got that bit of class.
Yeah,
but he's not been at his best. But I still feel like he's a danger. He's the one that could potentially score you that goal. So, and then to talk about Yamal and Williams, two different kind of wingers. Yamal, tricky, but just graceful on the ball, and just one of them players. It seems like you kind of know what he's going to do, but you can't stop him, and he's already at that age at 16, which is frightening. And Nico Williams is, honestly, I see him as like a Saka, but with, I'd say, more intelligence in his game. I say he's got more in his game than a Saka that I see. I'm not saying he's better, but I'm saying in terms of his style of play and the kind of winger he is, I'd say he's got more to his game, and he's been just frightening. And I would say in the first game, I was quite underwhelmed by his performance. Maybe I'm being harsh, but since then he has been electrifying, unstoppable at points, and a player I seriously worry about. I seriously do worry about Nico Williams in this game. But who do you think the main threat comes from for Spain?
Well, as you said, Nico Williams is definitely one. He's he's powerful. He's not one of these little slight wingers. He's big. He's tall. He's direct. He can push his way past defenders. He's got an absolute bullet shot on him as well, and very, very intelligent. So he's definitely going to cause a lot of problems. Yamal, obviously, on the other side, arguably player of the tournament. One of them. 16 years old again. We keep saying 16 years old, but yeah, look, we have to say it. He's every time he gets the ball, you sit up if you're sort of like a neutral watching the game, and if he's playing against England, I could dare say every time he picks the ball, you're going to be hiding behind the sofa because you just don't know what he's going to do. Morata, you've already mentioned there again, not at the greatest of tournaments, but works his absolute socks off. And what he does really well is his hold up play. He reminds me a little bit of a bit like an Oliver Giroud type of player. underrated. Been around for ages. You've always got to keep your eye on him because he's always capable of a goal.
Yeah.
Which means the defenders, can't switch off. They've still got to look for him. And what he's also very good at, he's also good at dragging defenders out of position, which then allows space for sort of Jamal and Nico Williams, and especially again another for me who just keeps arriving in the box due to some of the good work that Murat has been giving. Fabio Ruiz, he is a big danger. The times he's been popping up in the box, getting a goal or two. This tournament, he's been outstanding, and obviously Rodri.
Rodri. Don't forget Rodri.
As we said, a team on form. We can go on about Foden and Saka and Bellingham, and we're like, yeah, he did all right in that game. He weren't great on that game, but Spain, you're just like,
yeah.
They play every one of those names we've just called out there, and Dani Olmo obviously as well. Every time he gets very intelligent, we've really got to pull something out the bag, or Spain's got to have an off day or something.
Yeah, no, look, I don't think it needs to be an off day because with all those exemplary talents you've mentioned there, they've been on fire, and everyone in Spain's team has been on fire. But the two weaknesses I see in this team, and even though they have played well, and it seems crazy because one of them's a Real Madrid legend, Dani Carvajal cannot go a game without getting a yellow card or giving away multiple fouls.
Is he suspended?
No, he's back for this game.
No, he's back.
He's for the last game. Sorry, yeah. Sorry.
Got a red card, and I suspect he's going to come back because Nacho, no way. If they want to play Nacho, happy days, because he's not. He ain't up for it. He ain't up for it. If they want to play Jesus Neves, play him. Play the 38-year-old. Happy days. Yeah, but Dani Carvajal, I think we can get at him, but it would mean that we need to be smart with that. That needs Shaw getting down that flank. It needs Foden actually going at him. Be smart. Go at him. Even if you are going to spend a lot of your game cutting in, make sure you go and visit Carvajal and get a couple of free kicks and get him on a booking. And I say the same with Cucurella.
Early.
Early. Cucurella. I see the same with Cucurella. Been very, very good this tournament, but he's erratic. We know he's erratic. His best game is probably his forward play, but he's shown in this tournament that defensively is very astute in this tournament. But you can get him, and we've got two players in those positions that can do that. And if we've got Harry Kane that can stand in and around the box and be a presence there and be a bit of a bully against those Spanish defenders, we can get a goal. And we can exploit it. So they're not invincible.
No, they can be got
Spain,
at.
Spain weren't a team that people had as the favourites before the tournament.
No, I didn't have anywhere near it.
So there's no reason why we should be going into this game fearing Spain. Respect them and don't fear them. Because if we fear them, we're going to do what you boys are saying and sit in and let them dominate. And that is what's playing into their hands. Giving a Spanish team 99% domination for a game is curtains, because they will absolutely demolish us.
Yeah, we need Spain to think of us like we're talking about them at the moment. We've got Bellingham in Spain,
but they should be.
They will be. Honestly, Steve, we're downtrodden as England.
Yeah, but I'm on about on this form. I mean, they'd be looking at the form.
It's a final. All that goes out the window, man. Listen, I'm saying we've got Jude Bellingham, who's just tore up in Spain. So we've got Saka, who's one of the most dangerous wingers in the game. We've got Declan Rice, who is only second to Rodri in the Premier League in that position. We've got, if we play Shaw and Walker, we've got fast-paced defenders that they will be looking at this team. They won't be I know you're saying our performances haven't been great, but we've got players in that team. Foden hasn't been great this tournament. I agree with you, but it's all out the window. This is a one-off game in the final. They will be worried about some of our players, man. Honestly,
we wouldn't be having our expectations so high and being disappointed with some of these results and performances if we didn't respect these players at that level. They wouldn't be going into the tournament as favourites if there wasn't that fear factor to a certain extent with other teams. The reason why we're so annoyed is because we said after the first game and the second game, Denmark won't be looking at this and thinking this team's scary. But after that Holland game, if Spain come into this game and think England are going to be a pushover, they're making a big mistake. I hope they come into this game
we want them to.
and
Yeah.
like some of their fans are talking, we want England. I hope they're looking at some of the reaction at Spain getting England and using that as ammunition to go against Spain to show them why we're favourites in the first place. Because the game against Holland should put a little bit of doubt in people's mind that Spain are going to come into this game and actually walk over England, because they ain't.
Something else that, I totally agree with you, by the way, with what you're saying, but I think you're right as well, because, you brought up the Holland game there, and you should say, they would be silly, considering that, especially the way we come from behind and eventually won the game. And Spain did exactly the same. It was like a mirror image of what they did to Germany.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? The last minute goal, 2-1, come from behind. It was exactly the same mirror image.
Same with France as well. Apart from the last minute goal, they'd come from behind against France as well, man.
So they've played in games with situations where they're going to be concerned. But I think it's going to be a great final. I think it's going to be a really good final.
It is. And as you said, look, they against Italy, tough game, 1-0 own goal. They went behind against Georgia. They went behind against. They went behind against Germany. Took the lead against Germany. Went behind against came back against Germany from what is 1-1 at full time, and then that's going to get extra time. So they can be got at. Like, this team is not invincible, and I don't think these players should be even thinking that this Spain can't be touched, because if they do, they'll be rolling on their backs and surrendering before we've even had the first whistle. All right. Let's have a quick score predictions before we finish. Garth, give us your score predictions.
I'm sorry, lads. I want to go.
No.
I'm going 1-0 England.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I don't think it's going to be a magic final. I think it's two teams that are going to be quite evenly matched, and it's going to be a one goal. It's going to be a 1-goal game for me, mate. So 1-0 England. I'll give you this. I'm going for Declan Rice with the goal. I'm going with, because I think he's wanting one. Oh, Declan Rice. I've seen it. I like a dig him as a shot. So 1-0 England.
Steve,
what's that noise?
Yeah.
I'm going. I think there will be a few goals, because I just think there's so many good players on the pitch, and I think it'll be. Oh well, maybe I'm just hoping, but I'm hoping it'll be an exciting game. Yeah, look, I think I'm going for 2-2. I think it'll go into extra time.
Banger again.
I think England will take it into extra time by us scoring another late goal. Extra time will be a bore fest, and then it will go to penalties, and then
I can't.
And then we'll win. And then we'll win on penalties, and it will be Ivan Toney come on and get another penalty to win us the Euro.
Is he just looking at the goalkeeper?
Yeah, just dead stare.
Yeah. That's a good script. That'd be good.
I'll tell you what, it's much more impressive than Garth's one. I'll take either.
Yeah.
I'm not being picky, but I tell you what, I think I'd rather have Steve's one.
Penalty shoot.
Come on, 2-1 down, last minute goal. Absolute scenes. Oh God, we're going into extra time.
You've got my palms sweating just thinking about this, lads.
We're going into extra time. Warfest, penalties. Pickford saves a penalty. What? Ivan Toney scores the winner without even moving, just staring down the goalkeeper. Absolute scenes, mate. Absolute scenes.
What about this?
Out Bexley till 3 a.m, mate. That's what we're doing.
Someone better bring some Valium. That's all I'm saying, because I need my heart to take my heart rate to go down.
What about this? Declan Rice gets sent off. Saka gets taken off for Cole Palmer. It goes into extra time, goes to penalties, but during that, Simons has got an injury and David Raya comes on. Probably every Arsenal fan would be going, God, David.
If David Raya saves a penalty against England to win them, he can get sold. Honestly, get out.
You don't want that, Steve. Yeah, you don't want that, man.
No, I don't want that.
Was it Kim G Park where they terminated his contract for South Korea and he's playing for Perugia? at the World Cup because he knocked out Italy.
Yeah.
Do the
Oh,
same.
Mate, you won't want
that. I don't want that
Every away
emotion.
fan, every time he's in front of the away fans for the next season, he's going to be getting pelters, literally.
Yeah. But big up.
Everywhere.
Just, I'll tell you what, like, just before we go, I think we've got to like. I mean, especially me. Do you know what I mean? Because I've slagged him off all tournament. I think we've got to give Gareth Southgate his dues. Through this tournament.
Yeah, look. Whatever you thought about Gareth Southgate, it goes out the window now. I don't want to hear any of you. I've seen some of you in the comment section trying to still hold on to, oh, yeah, but we were still boring. Shut up. Don't watch football. Don't watch football because it ain't for you. Because if you're looking at Gareth Southgate and you've got anything bad to say against him now, he's just taken. You don't know how good you've had it, yeah? That's the problem. You don't know how good you've had it. It's a bit like Chelsea fans that were born in and around the late 90s. So they've managed to watch Chelsea through great times, and now they don't know what's going on. A bit like Man United fans, to be fair. The majority of their fan base, they don't know how it is. It's like, exactly, they've had it too good. Well, England fans right now, young England fans, you've had it so good. You've managed to see England go to 2 finals, a semi-final, and a quarter-final. And the quarter-final used to be our final. Trust me.
We were literally like, Sven-Goran Eriksson is the best manager we've had since Sir Alf Ramsey. Took like quarter-final.
No. He's got to hold your hands up to him. He's got us to where we are, and it's like when it all comes down to it. You know, I've said it in the group today a couple of occasions because Garth, it definitely has soaking in, but some of them people just do not sink in. You know, this is not the Premier League. This is tournament football. This is knockout football. Stop trying to compare the two. Stop talking about entertainment. We all want entertainment.
Yeah.
Of course we do. We all want entertainment, but sometimes we have to realise that, you know, in cup games, in tournament football, that all goes out the window. And I've been guilty. Sometimes you get guilty because you just do, because you know you're in the middle of, it's just reaction to football matches and it's what football fans do. But when you sort of break it down, you know, he's done fantastic. He's done brilliant. And if he stays on, he stays on. Because
I think you can.
Let's not go that far.
Performances.
But
you can. The performances in this tournament, some of it has been. Listen, none of us are managers, obviously, but from a layman looking in, there's been easy fixes in games where you've been like, was it the Switzerland game where he didn't make a sub until like the 85th minute or whatever it was, and you're like, there's been a bit of luck. The Jude Bellingham goal, bit of luck, bit of luck.
Yeah.
But listen, he's got us to another final, so you can't grumble at him at the moment, at this precise moment. But as you're going through the tournament and you're looking ropey, like, I don't think everything that's been said against him has been unwarranted, is what I'm trying to say.
No, it hasn't. So don't beat yourself up.
I mean, if he wins this,
he deserves another 2 years. He deserves another 2 years, even if he don't win it.
100%. If he wins this, I mean, people say, oh, against Alf Ramsey. I mean, for me, considering he's got us to semi-finals and finals of other competitions, you could arguably say he's up there with him.
Yeah, he will be. Yeah,
you know, because a lot of people do turn around and say that you. I mean, I haven't analysed it personally, but a lot of people turn around and say that the UEFA one's harder to win than the World Cup.
Yeah, I look. If Gareth Southgate wins this seriously, if Gareth Southgate wins this the European Cup, there's no other man that I'd want to take us to the World Cup. Like, honestly, I genuinely mean that, because you don't mess up something where it's just
the names.
You've taken it. If you're talking 100%. About the trajectory, then he's hit the peak. So then carry that on. He's gonna. There's gonna be new people taking the mantle as well. New players coming in, which he's probably got an eye for coming in as well. Just take him to the World Cup as well. Like, look, well done, Gareth Southgate. Well done, England team. But there's one more game you got to win on Sunday. Come on, you can do it, England. That's all we have time for tonight. Thank you for joining us tonight, Garth.
That's all right, mate. You don't have to that's fine. That's fine.
Thank you for joining us tonight, Steve.
I didn't know my name repulsed you so much, Keir. Do you know
what it is? I'm so English, yeah. Your
Yeah,
Welsh
big
name was
Bert.
offending me.
100% English for this one, lads. Yeah, there's no Welsh in me for this one. Just don't look at my passport. That's all.
Yeah, thank you for joining us tonight, Steve.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Absolute pleasure. And yeah, let's just hope we can do it on Sunday, mate. Yeah.
Yes. You're gonna. Me and Garth will definitely go live. I don't know whether it be 5 minutes, 10 minutes on Sunday.
Yeah.
From the great yacht pub live. We've got to say hello to people. Come on, we've got to say hello to people.
Yeah, no, I'm down. I'm down, but if I can't
hello to
pronounce anything, don't blame me. You know what I mean? Just don't blame me.
Make sure you've only had a couple of tinnies before we do that.
Couple of shandy basses.
Completely banned. Yeah, make sure we've got. It's transfer season coming up soon. We've got Steve K joining us on Mondays with Jack Talbot. We're also going to get some other of the top transfer journalists in. We'll have Garth doing player profiles as well. So make sure you join us on Monday nights once the tournament is done. We're going to be back at 8 o'clock every single week. And on Tuesdays as well for the Arsenal show at 8 o'clock. Make sure you join us for that, for transfer news and the latest updates and opinions on the team. Yeah, as we said, it's only one more game until the final. It is the biggest games of some of your lives. It's the biggest games of their players' lives. So you've got the support from all the nation, England. Come on, England. Bring it home. And come on, Gareth Southgate.
It's coming home. It's coming home.
It's coming. It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming home.
Yeah, this
I'll be